Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. I am Mahfuzur Rahman, lecturer, Department of ICT. I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. So today we will discuss a very interesting topic. Today's important topic is what is communication. For communication of information and the messages, what we use telephone or postal communication systems, data and information from one computer system can be transmitted to other computer systems across geographical areas. The method including electrical signals carried along a conductor, optical signal along an optical fibers and electromagnetic areas. So basic elements of communication system. There are some basic requirements for working of a communication system. A sender or source which creates the message to be transmitted. A medium that carries the message. A receiver which receives the message. So this is the basic elements what we have. Now I am going to introduction. Main purpose of an electronic communication system is to transfer information from one place to another. Electronic communications can be viewed as transmission, reception, processing of information between two or more locations using electronic circuit or device. Basic component. So you see a nice image. You see here in one number serial you have data source produce the data to be transmitted. This busy person is the data source as she talks to the person on the other end. And number 2 is the transmitter what he carries on his hand. It's a transmitter of a telephone encodes the data to be transmitted. In this example the transmitter is in the phone. And number 3, this one is transmission medium. Telephone cable is the medium right now. And then number 4, receiver will decode the transmission back to the original data. The phone is once again the receiver will be used here, and the destination is the receiver of the information, and this person is the receiver. He receives the data and he continuously talking with his friend at the other end. So this is the basic components pictures demo. Now I'm going to little more descriptive like input or transducer. The message produced by a source or must be converted by transducers to form suitable for the particular type of communication system. Like as example in electrical communication, speech waves are converted by a microphone or to voltage variations. Then we can use transmitter. This transmitter processes the input signal to produce a signal suits to characteristics of the transmission channel, like what are the medium we gonna use. Then signal processing, we have to modulate all the information or include coding. In addition to modulation, other functions performed by the transmitter and amplification, filtering and compiling the modulated signal to the channel. Now channel. The channel can have different forms like atmosphere, coaxial cable, fiber optic. These are the channels what we can use. Then we have receiver. The receiver's function is to extract the desired signal from the received signal at the channel output and convert it to form suitable for the output transducer. Other functions performed by the receiver, amplification and demodulation works and filtering. Output and transducers, the converts the electrical signals at its input to the form desired by the system's user. Example, loudspeaker or personal computer PCs, tape recorders, like they give output to their speakers or they can give their outputs to the printer or something else. Now we are going to discuss what is bandwidth. Bandwidth means it's an amount of data that gets sent from one computer to another computer, connection to another connection at any given time. This is we can call it bandwidth. The speed is usually measured in bits per second or BPS we can say, and bandwidth is used to transfer data fast so you can easily access your page to view it. The more bandwidth you have, the more faster you can download more things. This is the real magic of an bandwidth. Importance of bandwidth, why we need it? Why bandwidth is important? Bandwidth is limited by the physics and technology. Bandwidth is not free. Bandwidth requirements are growing at a rapid rate. Bandwidth is critical to network performance. Bandwidth is defined as the amount of information that can be flow through a network connection in a given period of time. Will work for bandwidth? Yeah, this can. Measurement. We can know some measurements what we have in bandwidths criteria. In first you can see this one, bit per second, BPS, that means 1 BPS equals a fundamental unit of a bandwidth. 1 BPS is a single BPS, 1 bit per second, single bit per second, the lowest equivalent fundamental unit of a bandwidth. Then we have kilobits per second. In per seconds, it can send 1 kilobit data per second it can send. That means 1000 BPS. That means 10 to the power 3 bit per second. 1 kbps equals to its equivalent to 1000 Bps. Then megabit per second, that means 1 Mbps equals to 10 to the power 6 Bps. It's a very important information you have to keep in your mind for your MCQ at your exam. And gigabits per second, that means Gbps. 1 Gbps equals to 10 to the power 9 Bps, that means bit per second. And after that we have terabit per second, that means TBPS. 1 Dbps equals to 10 to the power 12 bit per second. In digital system, the basic unit of a bandwidth is bit per second. Bandwidth is the measurement of how much information or bits can flow from one place to another in a given amount of time. That means this is the summary I wrote here, because you can know in single second per second it can send how many types of terabit, or how many amount of data in gigabit, how many amount of data in megabits, and how many of data in kilobits or bit per second. So now I will discuss some limitations of bandwidth. Like in number 1, bandwidth varies depending upon the type of media as well as LAN and WAN technologies used. We know in our home we use Wi-Fi to use and share our data, and we use LAN to connect our Wi-Fi's through local area network or local ISP we can say. So here we found so many speed or bandwidth variations depending upon what are the type of media we use, basically LAN or WAN, which area, which mode we use basically. The physics of media account for some of the difference. Basically the media what we use, basically it can be a wired or wireless, which media we are used, it's basically dependent on the what are the bandwidth we will get at our regular use. Signals travels through twisted pair cable, wire, coaxial cable or optical fiber and air. This is a limitation. By which medium you receive or send data, it's a very crucial thing. If you send your data through twisted pair cable, it will be sent as a different length of bandwidth you will get. If you use optical fiber, then you will get different length of band. And if you use through AR, basically Wi-Fi or any type of WiMAX, basically the wireless connection if you use, then you will get different sort of bandwidth bearings upon of your use of media. The actual bandwidth of a network is determined by the combination of physical media and the technologies chosen for signaling and detecting network signals. I hope you understand my today's videos and lectures. If you have any confusion or question, please do it at our WhatsApp group, and you can feel free to comment at my videos comment section. Again and again I want to tell you a simple thing: please stay at home for your and your family safety. Allah Hafiz. This is Mahfuzur Rahman from Milestone College ICT department.